I've had a really good experience here in Vietnam. My main excitement in coming here was painting a mural, at least one good, nice mural. Something that would stay up and be public, visible for everybody. And something nice, you know, not some quick, like, half-assed mural that I have to rush, but, you know, something I could do that I was really proud of. I'll take pictures of people in one city or one country and then paint them in another city or a different country. And I really like the idea of painting these people kind of maybe outside of their normal context, you know, or outside of their normal country, you know. And just painting these normal, like, not famous people in, you know, really, like, grand, big spaces. I guess maybe I would be classified as like a photorealist painter. For the most part, I do tend to paint from photographs or from life, and I do try to paint things to look lifelike. I mean, when I was young and when I grew up, you know, the art that spoke to me was the art that looked real. First started getting into graffiti and spray painting around 94, 95. I had seen the book Subway Art and was just blown away. You know, I had this like obsession with the culture of the 70s. You know, movies like The Warriors, you know, I was just like, I wanted to go back in time and like be there, you know. But with the spray paint work, I think it kind of happened from painting in the dark, kind of having to paint quickly. You know, I'm a perfectionist, and my tendency usually is to paint stuff as super perfect and tight as possible. And I think it was kind of good for me to paint stuff sort of under circumstances where I had to rush, and maybe I couldn't see what I was doing that well. When I was coming out here, I was informed that they didn't really have any kind of like really good paint out here. Like they didn't have any kind of Montana or Belden or like no Western paint, basically. Is that where this is from? Or?
It's from Malaysia.
Good.
And Thailand.
Good stuff?
Yeah.
Good paint?
No.
No? When I did this other little like painting event show here where people were painting, I made a point of not painting with any ice, because I usually like painting with my paint on ice, because the paint comes out better for me. For my particular style, it comes out better if the cans are cold. And so I didn't use any ice. And it was actually kind of funny, because I went there and saw some kids there with their paint on ice, and I'm pretty sure that's because they had seen me painting here with ice.
Are you serious?
You're making that up.
No, it's real. There's a can of ice over there. Yeah, let's check this out. Right, straightforward.
That's cool. I was using, I think it's, what was it, Daylox, or no, it was Red Fox paint, which it's got like the male valve that comes out and you can't take it out. So you have to like find some kind of female cap to put on it. Pretty much comes out like shit, but they did have, one of the local writers was kind enough to loan me a cap that they had made themselves.
This is a local cap. You can see here is the New York cap up there, and here is the local cap. We do we grew it to make a hole to put the New York cap in. Look good.
It still doesn't come out like the way I'm used to. It's, you know, I didn't get any kind of nice flare effect, but it came out decent, you know. And so I did a piece there using the local paint without any ice in a style that I haven't really done before, but it actually came out kind of cool. The ripple effect. Different people have kind of brought it up in different ways or mentioned it in different ways, and some people, I've heard I've heard the word vortex used, and I've heard the word ripples and vibrations. I didn't start out thinking like, okay, I'm gonna paint ripples. It wasn't like some conscious decision. It just kind of, that's how it happened. I wanted the pieces to look kind of like they were vibrating, and I like the idea of, these paintings or these pieces kind of capturing energy. There's waves all around us, and energy and frequency, and everything's bouncing around, protons, neutrons, radio waves, all this stuff's flying all around. And my experience of being here, I would say that the writers that are up the most by far, I don't know the right way to pronounce it, but in English it looks like KH or K Cat Bitong, and it's like these stamps that are up all over the city, and in Vietnamese it's short for concrete cutters, and then it's always like a phone number underneath, and like they always look a little rough, like they're like hand cut, and they're, the font that they use, the style of letters and numbers is like, it's unique, and it kind of looks a little like antiquated, and it looks dope, and these things are up everywhere. Like, I seriously cannot believe how many of these stamps are up all over the city. I've met a lot of people, and there's some talent here. Definitely, these kids are hungry, and they're coming up, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'd be excited to see what they come up with, in the years to come. Over time, getting a little older, maturing, maybe my aesthetic has changed a little bit, or the stuff that appeals to me has changed. And more I like stuff to have a little more stylization to it, and I have a little more appreciation for abstraction, I guess, or abstract art. When I look at like beautiful paintings, like, it moves me so much, And that's why I put so much into what I do, because, I wanted to affect people in the way that I was affected. I don't know, I guess it's just a way of changing the way people think, Maybe that's the most anybody could hope for. You make a painting, I mean, you're expressing yourself and you're doing it for yourself, but you're trying to connect with people in some way.
Bạn thấy bạn suy nghĩ rất lâu, bạn có thấy biết đẹp về cái gì không?
Tại vì em nghĩ là làm cái này chắc lâu, anh này phát thảo được khuôn mặt thấy.
Đẹp vì bạn thấy công việc tỉ mỉ đúng không? Bạn có biết vẽ?
Thích sơ.
Thích vẽ mà đã bao giờ thử vẽ trên tường nhé?
Em vẽ trên tường nhưng xấu.
Xem cô có thấy đẹp không? Đẹp. Tại sao đẹp?
Dạ đẹp.
Vẽ đẹp. Nhưng mà ví dụ
kỹ thuật đẹp.
kỹ thuật đẹp. Cụ thể cái gì là kỹ thuật ạ?
Vẽ không mà đẹp á.
Nhưng mà cô có để ý là họ vẽ không phải vẽ bằng bút mà là vẽ bằng cái hồng sơn không?
Đây là cây bút mà.
Không phải bút cô ạ.
When people see this mural, I don't want people to think like it's supposed to be some kind of like homage to this one person. You know, I'm hoping that people kind of see it as like a representation of a lot of people. I think as far as any other, you know, reactions, as far as like Vietnam or my time here, my experience here, you know, I think also a lot of that comes from the people. You know, when you go to a place, your impression of it, you know, is based on the environment, you know, nature, food, you know, all this other stuff. But I think one of the biggest things is always the people. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with how it came out.